guys, welcome back to the Fox's Kitchen and Happy New Year. My name is Bethany and today I thought we would be making some nice berry muffins because we did just enter in January. However, I thought after having all those like heavy desserts like cookies and cakes, I thought something just a little light or something like you can eat for a treat or maybe eat for breakfast just sounded really good to me. So I wanted something like that along with like a lot of fruits like berries, strawberries, raspberries, all that stuff. So I did find a recipe, so I hope you guys will enjoy this next recipe we'll embark on. And I hope you will enjoy these as much as I do. And with that being said, let's get started.
Alrighty guys, so to get started with our berry muffins, we're going to first need some kitchen equipment. And those are going to be your measuring cups, at least 2 large bowls, 1 muffin pan, and a couple of measuring teaspoons. After when you have your equipment assembled, you're going to want to preheat the oven for 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you're going to want to take a half cup of almond milk, 3/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce, 1/4 cup of maple syrup, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then you're going to just stir it all together in one bowl. After when you have that nicely combined, you're going to want to set it aside. Then you're going to take 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour. You can use a different type of flour, all-purpose if you will. Just make sure that you do some research online to see if the measurements would be the same, because there was at one point where I did substitute almond flour for whole wheat flour, so just be very mindful that if you're not sold on wanting to do whole wheat flour, you can always do other flours, but do your research first to compensate for the measurements. After when you put in your whole wheat flour into the bowl, you're going to want to take a half teaspoon of baking soda, half teaspoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of salt. Now, one thing that I did differently with this recipe when it came to the dry ingredients, if you guys have noticed, I did sprinkle a little bit of nutmeg in mine, only because I wanted just a little bit of like a spice kick, if you will. I just wanted more of like that cinnamon flavor just to add to my muffins, because I think that always goes well with muffins. You guys don't have to follow what I'm doing, but if you guys want to give it a try, go for it. Otherwise, you can just skip putting the nutmeg in, and then you're going to want to stir all your dry ingredients together until they are well combined. Now that you have your wet ingredients and your dry ingredients ready to be combined, all you're going to really need to do is just put them all in one bowl and then mix them together. Now for my batter, what happened was it got a little on the dry end, and I don't know if this will be like for you guys or not. So to more or less correct that, I poured just a little bit of almond milk, a little bit at a time, until it started to get to be thin and get to that consistency where I would like it to be. So you can also do water as well, maybe add a little more of the unsweetened applesauce to see if maybe that can remedy that as well. But I would exercise caution when doing that, because you want to add just a little at a time and not try to go overboard where it would become too runny. Once you have your batter at the consistency that you would like it to be, you're going to want to take a cup of mixed frozen berries Now, for me, I just more or less got a packet of mixed berries and I let them defrost a little bit before putting them into the batter. That way, they were easier for me to mix as opposed to them being frozen solid. So make sure that you do that just to make it a little easier on you and not to put too much arm strength in your stirs. Alrighty, and another thing that I will mention that I did do differently was I did add some strawberries into my batter because I noticed with the berry mix I had, there were no strawberries added into the mix, which I found kind of weird. So I just put a couple of mine in and I more or less eyeballed for measurement. I didn't really follow along with how much to put in. I just did what felt right. So if you guys want to add fresh cut up strawberries, that's also fine. And another thing to note, you don't have to use frozen berries if you don't want to. You can use fresh berries. I find that would be just as fine. I wanted to see with the frozen berries whether or not it would make much of a difference. And I didn't notice any difference at all. So if you guys want to do fresh berries, by all means, go for it. And maybe you can like cut out berries that you may not want because I know some people don't like raspberries. That's completely fine. And you can just take them right out and look for maybe a different berry mix bag because there's like a whole lot of different variations. So for our last step, you're going to want to take your muffin pan. You're going to want to either line it up with some muffin tins, or if it's a non-stick pan, you don't have to do that. For me, I just more or less sprayed Pam in it just to make sure it doesn't stick to it at all. I'm pretty sure it's non-stick, but it's more or less being safe than sorry. And then you're going to want to fill 3/4 of a way full with the batter. I probably went a little over the top in certain sections, but I found that after when these were done baking, it didn't really matter because they didn't overflow, which I was quite surprised about. And then you're going to want to bake your muffins for 25 minutes and until they are completely baked. Now, with this berry muffin recipe, I enjoyed it because it was just one of those simple recipes and it was just delicious inside and out. I found that this was just something perfect for me to have, especially after the holidays where it wasn't like too heavy on the stomach. And one thing I forgot to note that I got this recipe from a book called Plant You by Carly Odrug. I'll put the description of her book below, so if you guys want to check it out, maybe look it up on Amazon or see if it's anywhere local in local stores near you. I find that her recipes are quite good and they're not too salty or sugary. And I love them, and they're also vegan, so just for those who do not want to go full vegan or whatnot, be forewarned, this is a full vegan book, but again, if you want to try something new, I would highly recommend looking into this girl's book because she offers such incredible recipes.
Alright, so I know with these muffins, they don't look the best. They don't look like those store-bought muffins you would get, like of the blueberry muffins, so to speak. However, I think they taste absolutely fantastic. They're not super sugary, which is what I like. And also the one thing I probably would have changed with the recipe is maybe add like a little bit of the lemon extract to it because I've made blueberry pancakes before and I love adding lemon extract, and I think these would work super well with the muffins. So if you guys want to add not only the vanilla extract but the lemon extract, I do recommend it. It would bring out the berries just a little more. Also, if you guys want to maybe do like cut out the raspberries, I know not a whole lot of people like raspberries because you can still feel the seeds to them. It's not necessary to put them in. You can just do either like blueberries and strawberries together or just the blueberries themselves and you should be fine. Yes, they would be blueberry muffins at that point, but they would still taste really good. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe, and I hope to see you all again next time. Bye!